Johnny McGonigal. Final score said it was a close game. I think the better team did win. There were a lot of questionable calls in this game, but honestly, it could have been a lot worse at halftime if Will Howard, who got going late, had not made a couple of critical mistakes. I thought the better team won, and I am stunned, flat out stunned, that Penn State's offense could not score a touchdown in this game.
Yeah, you mentioned Will Howard's mistakes. He did make them. The pick six of Zion Tracy right off the bat, the fumble into the end zone at the end of the first half gave Penn State new life. But Penn State didn't do anything with it. I mean, at the end of the first half there, they've got, 14 seconds. They try to just toss one up to Harrison Wallace, and that's a hell of a play on the interception to stay in bounds and pick that off. And Penn State goes into the break empty on that possession, down after being up 10-0 early in the first quarter. And then what happened down here, Bob, goal-to-go situation. I don't think any Penn State fan will understand this for years to come. I don't know if it's quite 4th and 5 level, but it might get there. I mean, because Tyler Warren in the Wildcat package goes for 33 yards down to the 3-yard line. Penn State's down 20-13. They need a touchdown in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter. And what does Penn State do? Run up the middle, Nick Singleton, or Katron Allen. Run up the middle, Nick Singleton. Run up the middle, Katron Allen. No gain, 1 yard, 1 yard. 4th and goal from the 1, and a play-action pass.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren just got you down there, 33 yards in the Wildcat package.
They threw it to the wrong tight end.
And they probably handed it to the wrong ball carrier. I mean, all respect to Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, they're not the size of Tyler Warren when you need so few yards. Just give it to the guy that got you there. So I don't understand it. I don't think a lot of people will understand it. Penn State loses, ends up 7-1 right now. I mean, James Franklin came out and had the season's still ahead of them spiel, which is true this year because of the 12-team playoff. But this, I think the better team won, but this was a missed opportunity by this team.
It was. And I'll tell you what, as much as the Penn State defense hung in, they have to live with how this game ended. Ohio State takes over on the 1. There's 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Penn State's got 3 timeouts. It's like 11 plays, 56 yards, all of them runs.
Ran it right down their throat.
Right down their face, they ran this ball. And then Will Howard, the guy who talked the talk before the game, walked the walk in the fourth quarter.
He did.
Finished it with some third down runs. I was in the Ohio State locker room. He was glowing. He should be glowing.
Yeah.
It was a physical performance at scrimmage. The left tackle problem was not a problem for Ohio State. Ryan Day looked relieved, and I think he was relieved. I think if Ohio State lost this game, and Ohio State 2 losses in the regular season with a lot of football left to play is a big deal. Ohio State took this game over, and Penn State's going to have to live with it.
Yeah, you mentioned some questionable calls, and I know that the taunting penalty on Elliott Washington after Penn State gets a stop and would have got the ball, Ohio State ends up scoring a touchdown on that drive. There's going to be some people that disagree with that, and I thought it was weak. I thought it was a little soft.
Yeah.
He was getting up from the tackle. Yeah, he peered down at him. In a game like this, I don't think you throw that flag. Yeah. But either way, I thought Penn State's defense, for the most part, did pretty well.
They did.
Aside from that last drive when they were beaten and worn down and they had to go and give the offense another opportunity. They gave Penn State's offense opportunities all day.
They did.
And they did nothing with it. You don't score an offensive touchdown at home in the biggest game of the year. I can't say anything else. It's an indictment of your offense. It's an indictment of your team, the coaching staff, the players, everyone. And now they got to bounce back. They've got Washington next week in the whiteout game. They very, not easily, but very feasibly run the table here.
Sure.
Finish 11-1. Maybe you get into the Big Ten title game. Maybe you don't. But at 11-1 in the Big Ten, you're going to the playoff. And there were a couple of players already, Sal Wormley, Zaki Wheatley, who said, this isn't our last crack at Ohio State. Well, it might be.
Be careful what you wish for.
It might be. But they might play them in the Big Ten title game. They might play them in the playoff.
They might.
We'll have to wait and see. But today, when they had their opportunity, they didn't take it. And
at home,
James Franklin,
record crowd.
James Franklin out 1-10. 1-10 against Ohio State.
Ohio State had the better running backs in this game. At the end of the game, they had the better quarterback. They had the better defense in this game.
Sure as hell had the better wide receivers.
And they had the better offensive coordinator in this game.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would be saying that.
Yeah, because Will Howard, the early struggles, the interception, the pick six, the fumble into the end zone. the way that Chip Kelly settled in the first half, the fake tosses, he created a lot of easy opportunities for Will Howard to take, and it helps when you're throwing to Emeka Egbuka and Jeremiah Smith. But he created those opportunities for Will Howard and made it easier on him, and I didn't see that on Penn State's side. So they got to go back to the drawing board and figure out something else. I mean, Washington's defense is no pushover, but it's not nearly this unit. This is one of the best defenses in the country that they just went up against.
111,000 fans at this game. All of them are disappointed, and I don't blame them.
And a handful of them were
I don't
booing.
blame them. Yeah.